Hi, the date today is January 26th, 2022, and this is Dave, also known as the Extended Fasting Fat Guy. I'm just recording this video to give everybody a quick update on my ongoing weight loss process. If you've not seen one of my videos before, do me a favor, please, and go back and check one of the earlier ones. I don't want to bore everybody with the whole story again, but I will try and summarize as succinctly as possible. As of November 1st, 2021, I weighed 403 pounds, and as of December the 1st, scratch that, as of December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2021, I weighed 350 pounds. So I have lost 53 pounds in the last couple of months, and I'm now coming up on the end of my third month of this process. I do not have an updated weight for you, but I will the next time I record a video. I am doing an ongoing routine of rotating intermittent fasts. I currently am doing a 3.5 day fast followed by a 12-hour refeed, and then right into another 3.5 day fast. That's what I've done consistently throughout this the last month of January. It's going pretty well, and that's basically the reason I'm recording this. I got an email from somebody asking if I was okay, because I had not posted a video in about 10 days, I think 8, 9, 10 days, and they were concerned that I had fallen off the wagon or whatever. And that is definitely not the case. I have not cheated on my routine. I'm sticking to it. However, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to report. Basically, what is happening is that I am basically just trying to grind these fasts out and continue. I can give you a brief update, but there's nothing too exciting. Basically, the last time I recorded a video, I was in the middle of a 4.5 day fast, which equaled about 108 hours in total. I completed that fast successfully. It was rough, but it wasn't, the worst thing I've ever done. I managed to get through it, and then it was my roommate's birthday. Once again, I apologize, by the way, you can hear squeaking in the background. That is my dog chewing on one of his little squeaky toys, which he always seems to do when I start recording one of these videos. So anyways, basically, I completed the 4.5 day fast. I was doing my 12-hour refeed, and I had a bit of a snag. My roommate insisted on, well, she didn't insist. She wanted to order McDonald's through Uber Eats for her birthday dinner, which I was a big fan of because it was cheap. And we can't really go out right now anyways, because we're still in a lockdown. All the restaurants are closed for dine-in. So that was fine. So I did my normal refeed. I started at around noon. I ate some chopped up raw vegetables and a salad. Got my system kind of kick-started again. Was ready to go. We ordered the McDonald's. I had a McChicken and a quarter pounder. And about an hour later, I was violently sick to my stomach, like crazy ill. Now, I don't know if there's a number of possibilities why that happened. I don't think it was the food, because my roommate ate something similar, not the exact same, but something similar, and she was not sick. And also, if you recall, a couple of refeeds ago, I had the exact same situation occur, where I had done an extended, like a 4.5 day fast, over 100, I think that was 110 or 111 hours, and then when I finally ate, I was violently sick to my stomach. So I don't know what the reason was, but anyways, it was not good, because what that essentially meant was that I ended up going into my next fast with an empty stomach, because I'd thrown up and had not been able to hang on to any of the food that I had eaten. So the next the 3.5 day fast, which ended up I think 85 hours, was a tough one. That was a tough one, because after the first day, I was starving. Like, I was really, really hungry, and I was really, really tempted to cheat, but I did not. I did my refeed. I did a normal 12-hour refeed. I did my raw vegetables, my salad, and I had some veggie crisp crackers, and then for my meal I had some turkey bacon and scrambled eggs. and then that was fine. I did that refeed, and now I'm on another 3.5 day fast. Right now I'm about 70 hours into my latest 3.5 day fast. So the moral of the story is, the bottom line is, I have not cheated at all. I have not deviated from my fasting schedule at all. So that's good. I'd done previous videos. I talked extensively about considering making some changes to my diet and my refeeds, and I think I probably will still, but what I decided was to finish the month of January and see exactly how much weight I've lost, and then reassess from that point. Basically, I'm just petting my cat. You probably can't see her. Stick your head up here, Lucy. Say hi. Okay. I think that I probably will make some adjustments to my refeed, but I don't want to tinker with my program in the middle of a month. I weigh myself every month, so I want to see how much I've lost. I've said it on my previous videos. I'm aiming for 335. I'm hoping to have lost another 15 pounds during the course of January, and so my goal weight for the 31st of January is going to be 335. So the news is that I will be weighing myself before I shoot my next video, because I only have one more. I have this fast to complete. I've got tonight and then tomorrow up until noon, and then I eat tomorrow at noon. I'll be doing a refeed, and then I have one more fast to go, and then that's the end of January. So I'll weigh myself again, and once my next fast is completed, I'll be weighing myself. I'll assess, did I hit my 15-pound goal? If I didn't, then I will have to make some adjustments to my routine. If I do, then I got to make some decisions as well, because then I got to decide, what am I, how do I want to continue with this? Should I take the attitude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? You know what I mean? Because if I continue to lose, like if I lose 15 pounds or more, I'm not expecting more, but if I lose at least 15 pounds, then I don't know that I should mess with my routine, but we'll wait and see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, but I did get an email from somebody. I'd posted my email address with my last video, and somebody was very kind and sent me an email asking if they were concerned had I fallen off the wagon or whatever, and that's not the case. I don't think that's going to happen, but I will say this. It's been tough. It's been tough. The last couple, the fast prior to this one was really rough, because I had been sick on my refeed, so I went into the fast with pretty much on an empty stomach, which is never great. That was rough, but even this one, I've been having a hard time. I wish I had when I started this process, I had written down, kept an actual written diary or written journal of the side effects and how everything's going for me, because it's interesting. My body is reacting differently. When I first started doing the 60, my first month in November, I did 60-hour fast with a 12-hour refeed, and then I did that for the whole month of November. And what I found was, my first day of fasting, right after my refeed, was okay, but it was a little rough. And then the second day was great. I felt I had energy and everything like that. And then what I found now, since I upped it to 72s and then into 84 to 88-hour fasts, is that actually I'm really crashing on the second day. So in other words, the day after my refeed, it's always a little rough because I always have indigestion, but nothing I can't handle. But then when I do the no, Lucy. She likes to rub her face up against stuff, and I don't want her rubbing her face on the computer because I'll get my angle wrong. Yeah, I'm now finding my first day after the refeed, the first day of my 3.5 day fast, it's okay, but I have indigestion. And then the second day is hard. It's getting hard now. That's where I really hit the cravings. Yesterday, I had a rough day. Yesterday, I ended up drinking a liter of snake juice and trying to kick myself into gear, but it was tough. And today I'm okay. I'm hungry, but I can wait till tomorrow. I got less than 20 hours, or probably about 18 hours to go or whatever now, so that's fine. I can do that. But it's weird. My body's reacting differently now to the extended fast as it had previously, so that's weird. The other thing is my sleep patterns have really been strange. Like when I first started fasting 3 months ago, I slept great, especially in the first couple nights after my fasts. And then about 2 or 3 weeks into these extended fasts, I had this horrible 2 or 3 week period where I would only get 3 or 4 hours sleep a night. I would either not be able to get to sleep, or more typically I would fall asleep easily, but then I would snap out of my sleep after 3 or 4 hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, and I would sorry, my dogs are wandering around here at my feet. I got a cat, I got my dogs, and it's quite the menagerie I got going on here. So I would wake up and then I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. I did some research and I discovered that was probably due to my body's cortisol levels adjusting to my body becoming fat adapted. But then the great news was, after a few weeks of that, it went away, and my sleep got even better than it ever had been. Like I was sleeping like a baby, right? But now the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's back to, I'm having trouble again sleeping. Like I'll go to bed and I will fall asleep pretty easily, and I'm better than I was. Like I'm good for 5 or 6 hours. But when I'm up, and there's no going back to sleep. Like if I get up to go to the bathroom, or if I get up to let one of my dogs outside, or do whatever, it's tough, man. I lose my, I can't get back to sleep. So that's weird. Like my sleeping patterns have been really inconsistent and really up and down. So that's something that I wasn't expecting. What else? Basically, it's just been a challenge to grind this out, just to continue persevering and just keep doing it. I'm in a routine now, you know what I mean? So it's been 3 months of this. I'm anxious to see what my results are at the end of the month, like next week when I'm done my last fast for the month of January. But it's getting to be a bit of a challenge. My last video, I was talking at length about how I really don't think that you need to weigh yourself every day or every week. I know, like I mentioned that Cole Robinson, creator of the snake diet, has come out with this new thing where he's pushing auto-regulation and thinks that you have to weigh yourself every day, and if you don't, you're, all sorts of unpleasant names. And since I recorded that video, he's actually doubled down on that philosophy. He's really released another couple of videos where he's basically he seems to be getting crankier. I don't know why, but I mean, he was never the most emotionally even-keeled person to begin with, but he's really kind of he's really kind of gotten worse. I don't know why. Like his last video is just a string of profanity and insults and verbal abuse at anybody that doesn't weigh themselves every day. And as I said in my last video, I'm not doing that. But I can see where if I have a good month of January, going into February, I may reconsider that, because if I have a good month of January, then I'll know for sure that this is, I mean, I know it's working already, but it'll just reaffirm to me that my plan is working. And I may need to switch my mentality from being worried of the scale, because it's going to discourage me, to needing the encouragement, to kind of encourage me on the days where it's tough, because I'm having those days, right? I'm having those days. I had one last night, and I had one, like I said, the previous fast, where I'm getting these days where it's like, wow, I'm having a hard time grinding this out, pushing through. I'll admit, because I didn't fall off the wagon. I mean, yesterday I was like honestly sitting here thinking, oh, I'm starving. Like, I'm hungry. I'm just going to order a pizza. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to order a pizza. I'm not going to do that. I just toughed it out. But I've had struggles. I've had challenges, and that's an ongoing thing. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to cheat. I mean, I'm definitely not going to cheat between now and February 1st. I mean, all I got to do is make it till tomorrow, and I can eat tomorrow, and then after that, refeed tomorrow. I just got one more 3.5 day fast to go, and then I'm done for the month of January, and that will complete 3 full months of fasting, of extended fasts. So I'm gonna tough it out, but it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not. I can't sit here and tell you this process has been easy. It takes a tremendous amount of willpower to do this. The other issue is that, and it's a little bit of a mental thing, is the weather here in Toronto, Canada, has been extremely bad the month of January. We've had a horrible January. We got almost 2 feet of snow. We had a major storm. We got 60 centimeters, or around almost 2 feet of snow, believe it or not, which we broke like a single day record for accumulated snowfall. So that was pretty brutal. And then it's been extremely cold. We're talking like when you factor in the wind chill, it's been like minus 30 Celsius or around minus 22 Fahrenheit. So I'm talking like cold, like really cold, like frostbite cold. Like you can't be outside more than a couple minutes without getting, frostbite cold. It's been rough, and I don't really like the winter weather. I mean, I'm Canadian, so I'm used to it, right? But I'm not a huge fan, and it's been challenging because what I tend to do when I'm cold or uncomfortable to comfort myself is eat, right? So it's like we got 2 feet of snow on the ground, and it's like minus 30, minus 20, minus 30. My first inclination is to curl up on the sofa in a comforter and eat, and I haven't been able to do that, and I'm glad that I haven't. But that's been a challenge as well. I think if it was nice weather outside and stuff like that, I probably would be doing better, but it's been really hard. On the positive side, I know I've lost weight this month. Like, it just goes without saying. I just don't know how much yet, but I've lost a bit for sure. I went to a party the other day at my friend's place to watch, like just a get together with friends to watch the NFL playoffs, and I was able to wear clothes that I wasn't previously able to fit into. I have a fair bit of clothes that I've accumulated over the last 10 years or so that used to fit me, but now they don't. And so I was able to wear a bunch of clothes that I hadn't been able to fit into. So that was a good sign that I have lost weight. And also, I've had a number of people comment to me that they can tell just by looking at my face and my body that I've lost weight, which is always encouraging, right? To have somebody tell you that, so that's cool. So I'm just toughing it out. So basically that's it. I want to really thank the individual that sent me the email to check in on me. You know what? Even if I do fall off the wagon and I end up cheating, which I'm not planning on, I would record a video and admit it. I'm not just going to disappear. There's a lot of YouTubers out there who have these channels where they record their progress when they're down these weight loss routines, and you can always kind of tell when one of them's fallen or slipped because they kind of vanish, and that's not going to happen with me. Even if I do screw up, I'll be the first one to admit it. But I really appreciate the feedback and the support from this person. I wanted to quickly say something. If you search on YouTube for somebody called the Snake Diet Fat Man, there's a guy, he weighs almost 550 pounds, 525, 550 pounds. He is a devotee of the snake diet and a close follower of Cole Robinson's, and he has been documenting his weight loss journey. He's really struggling right now. He lost a ton of weight, and then he fell off the wagon and cheated, and then he recorded a video admitting what had happened, and then got back into his routine, but then he disappeared again, and now the last couple of days he's recorded a couple of videos where he's back at it and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll see this, but I really wanted to encourage him and tell him to stick to it. I mean, he's up well over 500 pounds, and so he's in even worse shape than I was when I started this journey. I mean, I know everybody's different and everybody's case is unique, but I mean, 540 pounds, that's a lot of weight to be carrying around. I mean, I know how miserable I was at 403, so I can't even imagine how he must be feeling. I really feel for him, and I watch his videos, and it really hits me because he's really struggling, and I get that. I've been very fortunate that actually the longer I do this, the better I am, like the better I feel. I've shared in previous videos, and I'll probably do another one at some point soon about this topic, but I've suffered from serious clinical depression and anxiety in my life before. I know the source of it. I worked in social services for over 20 years, and I worked with some really high risk and very violent offenders and risky clients, and I pretty much managed to get myself a case of PTSD for all intents and purposes, or so it was diagnosed. And I was on a whole flipping, medicine chest of different medications to deal with that, and I'm not anymore. And I've found that the fasting and the weight loss has really helped me mentally. Depression is not a major problem for me right now, and it hasn't been for quite some time. So, but I see him struggling, the snake diet fat man. And like I mentioned before, I've seen there's a couple other major YouTubers out there, one in particular who was a devotee of Cole Robinson's and actually moved into his house for in-person coaching, and then they had a falling out, and then now they've gone and gotten weight loss surgery, gastric bypass surgery, I guess, and it looks like she's struggling too, and it just kind of reinforces to me that you really have to. There's a train right on schedule. You really have to. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's one thing to fast. Fasting's great. Like I said, I've lost well over 50 pounds by this point through fasting, and I hope to lose a lot more in a very short period of time. I've done it too, but that's to have the self-discipline to lose weight quickly is an accomplishment. It's an achievement, and I would never downplay that. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again repeatedly. If we don't address these underlying issues of why we overeat, then we're doomed to be stuck in these patterns and these spirals, much like this poor guy, the snake diet fat man, is right now. Another topic I'm going to address at some point in the near future, or maybe the distant future, is the whole fat acceptance movement. There was recently a magazine cover for Shape magazine that came out with a morbidly obese woman on the cover, saying this is what fit looks like now, or whatever. And being a morbidly obese person myself, I certainly I've experienced what they call fat shaming and body shaming, and I've had lots of people make jokes at my expense, and people close to me even say hurtful stuff because of my weight. Not necessarily maliciously. A lot of times it's just ignorant, but it still happens. And even though that's happened to me, I don't advocate for this whole fat acceptance thing. I don't. The bottom line is, and believe it or not, this has become a controversial statement, although I can't for the life of me imagine why, but obesity is not healthy. Morbid obesity is not healthy. It's the underlying cause of a million other health issues. That's why I started my process, right? Because I had sciatica. I had a compressed sciatic nerve, which was partially due to my weight, and also I've got a heart condition, and also I have sleep apnea, and also I'm sure I was borderline type 2 diabetic, although I had not been tested for that. So the bottom line is that morbid obesity is not something I don't think we should be rushing to excuse. It's very unhealthy, it's risky, and it's also a strain on the healthcare system, right? I mean, if you look pre-COVID, I mean, one of the leading causes of people jamming up the hospitals was because of obesity-related illness. And the bottom line is, it's not like cancer. It's not like a lot of other physical ailments. You can physically prevent yourself from being obese. There are methods like the one I'm using right now. So I'm not pre-fat acceptance. I'm not pro-fat acceptance. I don't think that's a good philosophy. Having said that, I think there's a lot more to it than just dieting and losing weight, and I think that's where Cole Robinson is really kind of misses the boat. I look at this guy, the snake diet fat man, and his struggles, and I'm thinking, if he doesn't it's not like a matter of, okay, well, if I lose 300 pounds, I'll be happy. He has to be able to identify why he eats like that. And it's not just, and this is where it ties into the fat acceptance thing. It's not just because he likes eating. And it's not just because he's lazy. Not all overweight people are just fat, lazy slobs. They become fat, lazy slobs. And as a fat, lazy slob myself, I can swear to this, okay? That's a true thing. I have been fat, lazy, and a slob. But I didn't gain the weight. Like, I didn't start out, I wasn't born at 403 pounds. I very slowly worked my way up to that. And and we'll get into this some other time, but I can pretty much tell you, identify why I got that big. And so, here's an analogy, right? A few years ago, I had a nice little GMC Jimmy truck, and there was something wrong with the engine. The check engine light came on all the time, but I didn't have the money to get it fixed, so I kept putting it off. I called my mechanic, and he's like, "Well, you can put it off, but you don't want to leave it too long." So eventually I was driving to work one day and my exhaust system blew. And so I ended up getting my truck towed to my mechanic's place, and he took it apart and he's like, you blew your engine. And I said, well, how did I blow my engine with the exhaust system? Like, how does that work? And he's like, no, the exhaust system was just the final symptom of the underlying problem that you had in your engine, and you didn't do anything about it when you should have, and then it ended up causing something else to go wrong. So the root cause of your truck dying was actually rooted in your engine, not your exhaust system. And I was upset because I thought, well, why didn't I? I should have done something sooner, or whatever. Much like that, right? I could have got my exhaust system fixed, but that wouldn't have fixed my truck, right? The engine was the problem. You can lose the weight. It takes a ton of, I don't want to downplay it, because Lord knows anybody knows that I do right now, that it's the amount of self-discipline it's taking me to do what I'm doing right now it's huge. It's grinding me down, and I'm trying to grind through it. But if I do just that and don't address the underlying issues of why I gained the weight and take steps, most importantly, to not gain it back, we got a problem. And that's why my heart really breaks for this guy, the Snake Diet Fat Man. Because I've watched his videos, and he's up and he's down and he's up and he's down. Like, one day he's all jacked up and he's excited, he's going to the gym and he's making all these really inspirational speeches about let's do this and blah blah blah, and then the next video he's driving down the road with a large pizza in his lap eating, and while he's recording a video crying about his state. I pray for that guy. I want him to succeed. But the more I am into this process, the more I realize that losing weight is just part of the battle that I'm fighting. The big part of it is identifying how I got here and coming up with a plan of attack to not be here in the future once I've met my goal. I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't like to talk about down the road. I don't like to talk about if I meet my goal. My goal is like 190 to 200 pounds, and I weigh 350 or so right now. So it's insane to even think about that. But let's say for hypothetical purposes that I do make it there. When I do get close to that, I will need to come up with a plan of attack to make sure I don't come back here, because I don't want to come back here. I don't want to because it's been so much hard work getting where I am right now, and I don't want to because it could kill me, very literally kill me. So that's my thought for the day. I send out positive vibes and positive thoughts to the Snake Diet Fat Man. I'm going to send him a note, I think, a little comment on his YouTube page, or maybe an email, just to send him my best wishes. And I kind of wish he would consider doing what I'm doing, the rotating fasts, because he seems to have a hard time with the program that he's on now. But I'm in no position to contradict Cole Robinson or recommend an alternative. But that's where we are right now. So like I said, I'm still at it. I'm still grinding away. And the next time I speak to you, I will know how much weight I've lost in January. There'll be an update. And that was my dog again making that noise, by the way. And in the meantime, everybody stay safe. Thank you for all the support, and we will talk to you soon.